Hey Floss Tube, it's Lori of Mischievous Stitches, and I am here today with my first Stitch With Me video, and just to give me a little something to chat about while I do this. I'm going to do the Emily C tag. It's her most recent tag from her last video. And so before we do that, I'm just going to say I am currently working on Time and Season by Maura Blackburn. I'm going to pan a little. I've got to find a good spot so I can stitch and still video. But this is the Maura Blackburn Time and Season sampler. I've been working on it a couple of weeks. Stitching along with my friends Natasha and Mary and Donna D Squared. I've been stitching monogamously on it. This is on a piece of 40 count mallow linen by Zweigart. I'm using 1/2 threads. So there's that. So let's get started with the tag. Number 1 is going to be, what is your favorite cereal? That's easy. It's going to be Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds, or Honey Bunches of Oats with strawberries. And if Jacob happens to be home, or his sisters, there may be a box of Lucky Charms in the cabinet, and I have been known to partake of the charms. So yeah, but if I were to buy them in the store, it's going to be Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds. Number 2, what's your favorite pizza toppings? That would have to be sausage, olives, and onion, and bell pepper. Yeah, sausage, olives, onions, and bell pepper. Of course with the cheese and the sauce, but light on that sauce, please. And very rarely, if ever, I can't remember the last time I've ordered a pizza that's just for me. You know, you're in a family, a group of people, you buy something you know everyone's going to eat, so. But on the rare occasion, that's my favorite. Number 3. You're on death row, what's your last meal? Wow. I would have to say Thanksgiving dinner. I think most all of my favorite things, not all of them, but a good chunk of my favorite things are in a Thanksgiving meal. So sweet potato souffle, and turkey, and cornbread dressing, homemade now. All this homemade. Green beans and macaroni and cheese, and it's one of my favorite, or is my favorite holiday anyway. I love to cook that meal, prepare it for my family. I love to sit down and eat it. So yeah, Thanksgiving dinner, that's what I want. Number 4. It's laundry day. What are the really weird bottom of the drawer underwear? Yes, we all have those, don't we? I think those would be those control top underwear. Lady, you know the ones. Were the ones we used to smooth down all the edges when we're in a nice dress. Yeah, it's those underwear. They're not the most comfortable underwear in the world. But, you know, they smooth down the dimples and the puckers, and they make us look good. So yeah, those underwear, those are my bottom of the drawer underwear. Not that they're weird. They're just necessary, but I don't wear them often. 5. Who would play you in a movie about your life? Oh my. Actress. I don't know about that. I have favorite actors, but not actresses. I don't really think any one of them look like me. Emily didn't say they have to look like us. I'm going to say, just because I think she's just a beautiful woman, is Charlize Theron. I think she's a very beautiful woman. So, yeah. Why can't I have Charlize? This is my dream, so I'm going to have Charlize play me in a movie about my life, my boring little life. What is the next one? What food items do you sneak into the movie theaters in your purse? Oh, girl. You know I have to stop by Walgreens and pick up those boxes of candy before I go to the movies. So, the things that are my go-to are Jordan Almonds and Sour Patch Kids. I also want a big tub of butter popcorn. Not that powdered butter, but actually that melted butter that they squirt over it. Oh yeah. Light on the salt though. Not crazy about all the salt. But yeah, buttered popcorn, and I like Charleston Chews too. I would pick bottle caps, but I only like the brown ones. You know, the root beer and cola flavored. And you can't really pick through those when you're in a dark movie theater, so even though I do sometimes pick them up, I eat very few until I get home so I can see which ones. I save the other colors. I have a friend who likes the orange ones, so she always wants the orange ones, and I'm happy to give them to her. But yeah, so I'd have to say Jordan Almonds and Sour Patch Kids. Let's see, what else? What is your perfect vacation? Oh my. Last minute getaways with Clint. Those are my perfect vacations. I love spur of the moment things. I do not like tourist traps. I like to go places that are out of the way. We often will have just a weekend to ourselves, and we've done, you know, some of the planning sites like Priceline will, you know, if you do an express deal, they will choose the city, and they'll choose the hotel, and they'll give you, you know, 3 options, and you can choose the star rating, and we've done that before. You know, it's just last minute. It's just rooms that may have not filled for that weekend, and so we've gotten some great little last minute vacations doing that. But I do enjoy it. So my favorite vacation would be just Clint and I, maybe in the North Georgia or Tennessee or North Carolina mountains in a cabin, kind of out of the way. You know, early morning cups of coffee on a front porch, enjoying the view. Yeah. Late night talks in front of a fireplace with a fire burning. Oh yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying daydreaming about this right now. So yeah, we do have a last minute, not really last minute, but we're taking a trip in the next couple months. Clint actually booked the place this week, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's a place we haven't been in a long while. We used to vacation there when the kids were little, and it's been, I'd say, at least 10 years since I've been. Clint, I did go on a stitch retreat one weekend once, and Clint took the kids and they went down there for the weekend while I was away in Tulsa. So he's been since I have. But anyway, I'm looking forward to that in August. That answered my question in Went off on a tangent, didn't I? Alright, what's next? You're stuck on a deserted island and can have 5 things. What do you have? What do I have? 5 things. Clint. Gotta have Clint. I'm going to be stuck on a deserted island by my, you know, I've got to drag him along with me. Maybe kicking and screaming, but he's going to have to come. Isn't that kind of like a death row sentence? 5 things. Clint's 1, so that leaves me 4. I want a water source. So I have to have some type of filtration system, I guess. Wow, depends on the type of island, doesn't it? So in my mind I'm thinking tropical island. Can't have an RV because then I have to have an electrical source. Wow. A boat. That wouldn't be stranded though, would it? That wouldn't fit the criteria. Wow. Guess I'm thinking too deep. I want to be stranded on Gilligan's Island. That's where I want to be. Remember old TV shows, The Skipper, The Professor? I want to be stranded on Gilligan's Island. And they had a boat, a broken boat. They had a boat. They often had visitors that never took them off the island, but they had visitors. And that professor, the things he could do with some coconuts. Yeah, I want to be stranded on Gilligan's Island. I think I'll be okay. Have all the clothes I want. You know, they never seem to wear the same thing twice except for Mary Ann. Bless her heart. So yeah, strand me on Gilligan's Island. I want to be there with Skipper and the professor. Alright, if you could have a reproduction style chart with anything possible, what would the theme be? You know, I've actually thought about this. You know, those young girls would make samplers using things in their surroundings. Oop. You know, the animals, there's a Hands Across the Sea sampler now that it's hops. The border of the sampler is hops, so that's one of the things I like. You know, these girls were from all over, but some of the motifs are things in their area, so I would want to bring motifs from my area. Lots of pine trees here. Large oak trees. We have a huge horsing community and forestation. There's a lot of planting and harvesting of pine trees here for softwoods. Crops: cotton, peaches, peanuts, kudzu is everywhere here in the summer. There's a place right down the road from me that's more like a low-lying area, and you wouldn't know that. I always think if someone ever ran off there in the summer that wasn't familiar with the area and run off that curve there, they would go down into that indention, into that kudzu. But in the summer, I say that because the kudzu is even with the road. It's so thick. And yeah, I know that it kind of smothers out other vegetation. It's still such a, it does have its own beauty. So, you know, maybe kudzu and squirrels. There are squirrels everywhere here. rabbits and deer. Our state flower is the yellow jasmine, and in the summer when it starts blooming, I mean, it's everywhere in the trees, so it's a vine. And it's in the trees, and it's on fence, and it just grows everywhere, and it smells so wonderful. So yeah, bring some of that into the sampler. So you've seen, I've thought about this before. If I were to ever design a sampler, I wanted to bring in things for my area. So there's that. So let's see what the next question is. What is your strangest travel experience? Bonus points if you've ever spent time in a foreign jail. No bonus points for me. I've never traveled outside the U.S. I hope to someday. But as of yet, I have never traveled outside of the U.S. Strangest travel experience. I can't think of one. I guess I don't. Maybe it's just the way my mind defines strange. Maybe. Not had any odd experiences. I guess because I don't know. I can't think of a single one. So I'm just gonna not spend any more time on that because I don't have any. 11. What are you saving money for right now? I guess we are saving money, starting to put back money for the trip I told you about earlier that Clint planned this week. He's already paid for our lodging, so that's taken care of. But I'm putting money back for, you know, spending money, food money, that kind of thing. Carpet. That's what we're saving for. We wanted to wait till the kids were older and gone and replace the carpet in the house. Our whole home is not carpeted, but a good bit of it is. And we had someone come in and give us an estimate, or a couple places, and it's going to be way more than we anticipated. So we just had our roof replaced, and that was a huge, oh my goodness, that was a huge expense. So it's going to be not as expensive as the roof, of course, but so yeah, we're putting back for carpet right now. What craft would you like to get better at? Number 12. My craft. I'm not a painter. Tried my hand at knitting, and it's just, you know, it's just not for me. Cooking. I'm going to say cooking. I love to cook. I love to entertain and have family and friends over and prepare a meal for them and watch them enjoy it and get their feedback on what I've cooked. But I don't know a lot about, you know, ethnic foods like Mexican food. Yeah, I can do tacos and things like that, but I want to learn, I want to know how to do more than that. So even Italian food, there's so many different sauces that are used. So yeah, I'd like to take some cooking classes and learn more about the food from other cultures and the preparation of those foods. So let's see. Number 13. If you could have 3 designers for the rest of your life, who would that be? Shooting from the hip here. Beth Twist, definitely. Beth Twist of Heartstrings Samplery. Kathy Barrick Designs and all things Carriage House. I like Blackbird, but you know, you definitely know a Blackbird when you see it. They're so similar, and there's so many different designs, but at the same time, when I want to stitch, because they are so similar. I think I would want a little more variety. So I'm going to say Plum Street Samplers. I like her older things, but you can definitely see how she's developed. Her new things are nice too. Don't get me wrong, but it's just that you can see how she's developed over the past years with her designing. I like the past, but I like the present and where she's going. So, Kathy Barrick, Beth Twist, and Paulette Stewart. Those are my designers. That was not an easy question, by the way, because there's many wonderful ones. Dumbest way you've ever been injured. Oh, let me count the ways. Oh my goodness. I've broken my toe in karate class doing relays. I think I tried to morph into a ballerina and tried to stand on my toes during a relay and broke my big toe. I'd have to say bicycling. A couple years ago, I just, my husband and I were really into exercising, and my sister is a bicyclist, and she wanted me to do a bicycle race. So I prepared in the gym every day. I would do 20 and 30 miles on a stationary bike. Let me just say, you don't jump from a gym stationary bike to a 32-mile bike race. It was downhill. It was a 32 mile, so the first 16 miles were basically downhill and flat, and then you had to meet at halfway point, turn around, and go back up. Well, I knew I was in trouble at the quarter mark. I had blisters in places that weren't intended to have blisters. I knew nothing about padded bicycling pants. I had a padded seat on the bicycle, but anyway, let's just say my behind was not thickened up enough to do that kind of racing, that kind of bicycling, because a stationary bike does not give you the feel of what it's like to ride on, packed red clay or grassy whole field levees or sand dirt roads. When I say sand, I mean loose sand, not packed dirt, loose sand. And on the way back from the halfway point, there was a few of us riding together, girlfriends, and a work friend, Alice, was riding with me. And by this point, I'm just trying to make it up the last 16 miles. And we're on this back road. It's a dirt road. It's behind a local plant. And they opened up this road just for the bicyclists for that day. It's usually gated, closed. But on one side, on the right-hand side of this road, was the Finney Swamp that dropped down. It dropped down from the roadway to the swamp. And on the left-hand side, it was the gated chemical plant that we were riding behind. So anyway, we're riding down this road, and I had, by this time, my behind was so sore, I was trying to keep my behind off the seat. But when I sat, I had the padded seat, but I had taken the cloth that I was using to, mop the sweat from my face and put it beneath me. And of course it shifted, and I'm reaching behind me, and I'm trying to straighten up the towel. And of course, I'm in sand. My wheel got caught in the sand. I knew I'm about to, you had that quick flash of I'm going to fall. I could either fall to the left and crash into my friend and take her down with me, or I could go to the right, which is where the swamp was. So of course, I didn't want to take my friend down, and I fell to the right, and I'm sliding down a sawgrass covered embankment towards the swamp. And I'm sliding head first on my back, and I'm grabbing for this sawgrass, and I could hear my sister's, I could hear her hollering, and my friend, their bikes just dropped because they knew I had fallen, and they immediately just slam on brakes and they stop. And I couldn't see them because the grass was so tall, and I finally, in the path that I had made, sliding down on my back, I saw my sister's face, and I could see horror in her face. And, "Are you okay?" I said, "I am fine. Just get me up from here." About that time, my work friend, once she realized I was okay, she starts howling with laughter, because at this time I'm trying to get up the embankment. I've got 2 handfuls of sawgrass, and I'm flailing with my feet up and down, trying to get, kind of a balance so I can get myself back up without sliding further down. And she says, "Let me get my cell phone. Let me get a picture. I'm going to put this on the break room wall." Oh my gosh, it was a hilarious situation. It really was. We were all laughing by the time I got up. But all that to say, never again. The injury was the blisters, and I did have some bruises from the fall, but nothing too bad. But the blisters weren't intended to be where I had them. So never again, never again. What's next? Long tangent. 16, you have unlimited income. What does your dream house look like? Oh my. I love 20s and 30s bungalows. Picket fence and oak lined sidewalks and all that wood trim. But let's see. Oh, okay. I'm a Walking Dead fan. And those of you that are Walking Dead fans too, Herschel's house in season 1, the wraparound porch and shiplap walls and just minimalist decor and sheer window curtains blowing in the wind from the breeze and the open windows, creaking screen, front door screen, and front porch swing. That's my house. Give me Herschel's house. So I can't insert a picture, or I could, but I'm not going to. But yeah, give me Herschel's house. I want Herschel's house. I'm going to keep going. Hopefully this phone won't cut off on us, because I've still got a few more. What song would you like played at your funeral? Gosh, I've not really thought about that. I'm religious. I will say my, death is a big deal. I'd have to say Amazing Grace. It's my favorite hymn. I like to slow it down a bit so that you can really feel and let the words sink in. So I'd have to say Amazing Grace. 18, what's your favorite board or card game? Oh, we love card games. Uno. Definitely Uno, family game. When I'm playing with my friends, I like a game called Split. But phase 10, you are playing against someone at the same time you're playing yourself because you're trying to phase up. So I'd have to say phase 10. Rummy. Yeah. Who was your first celebrity crush? I have to say the same thing Natasha did. C. Thomas Howell. I was so surprised when she said that in her tag answers. But yeah, he was my first celebrity teen crush. He was in E.T. He was in The Outsiders. Movie called Tank. So yeah, C. Thomas Howell. 20, and final question. If you could capture a smell in a candle or perfume, what would the smell be? Oh my. Fresh cut grass. my grandmother's biscuits baking. Gosh. You know, I've listened to a couple of these tags, and I have to say, it seems like most people choose things that remind them of home and those they love. And my answers wouldn't be any different. The smell of my grandmother's, you know, lotion. Or just her house. One thing I love to do is my dad turns woodwork. He's a woodworker. And a lot of times now when he comes to the house, his clothes have that smell of wood shavings and the lacquer that he uses to seal the wood. And if I just put my nose inside of one of the little vessels that he's made, I can smell that smell. So yeah, those things. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed stitching with me, and take a stab at Emily's tag. I'd love to hear your answers. I do find them interesting just like she does. So everyone have a great week. I've enjoyed this time together. Talk to you soon. Bye.